guys, welcome back. Natalie Newhart here, founder of Fit Addicted Nutrition. And today what we're going to be talking about is really, I consider it the simplest approach to maximizing your fat loss and muscle building capabilities using your menstrual cycle, what I call female phase training. So there's basically different phases in the menstrual cycle. We can break it up into 2 phases, 3 phases, or 4 phases. In this video, what we're going to talk about is how to break it up into 3 phases, which I think is kind of the most simplest approach. But there's also another level that you can take it that we're not going to talk about in this video. So this is for somebody that's going to just want some simple guidelines on when do I eat more, when do I train more, and how do I deal with cravings at the end of my cycle, okay? And how do I really maximize that fat loss and minimize fat storage? So if you guys have been following me for a while, you should have a good understanding by now of how the female cycle really works and how it's influencing your ability to burn and store fat. But if you haven't seen any of my videos, here's just a quick review, okay? So basically, this is the outline of your menstrual cycle. Day 1 is, the first day of bleeding, so that's over to the left. And here's day 28, what we consider kind of like, an average normal menstrual cycle, the end of a cycle, okay? And then in the middle here is day 14, which is ovulation, okay? And so in this video, we're going to break these things up into basically 3 phases. 2 to 3 phases. So the first 14 days, that is known as a follicular phase, okay? So day 1 through day 14 phase is phase 1. And it's what we call follicular phase, okay? It's a time where estrogen is more dominant, okay? So the red line here is estrogen and the blue line is progesterone, okay? And so estrogen is more dominant in phase 1 in the follicular phase. And what estrogen allows you to do is it allows you to eat more starchy carbs without storing as much fat. So pretty awesome, okay? It also allows you to handle more stress so that the body isn't negatively affected by emotional stress or physical stress. So it could be, whether it be anxiety, overwhelm, frustration, sadness, those things impact the body in a particular way, specifically the female body. And when the body feels stressed like that, it ends up acting like a traffic jam. Like no fat is getting burned. You can be releasing fat all day long if you want by working out, but you won't actually be burning fat. And this is why so many women find themselves working out all the time, spinning their wheels and not able to actually see any difference, no changes, because their bodies are too stressed out, and so it's bound up. The traffic jam is not allowing the fat to be burned, okay? It can also be physical stress. So, emotional or physical stress. So it could be, working out too much, not getting enough sleep, poor sleep, long, hard workouts, or pain in the body or something like that. Okay. But in that first 14 days, that's when you can take on more food, more workouts, more stress, more emotional stress and physical stress without it really, negatively affecting your ability to burn fat. The second 14 days, so from here to here, this is where the blue line is more dominant, which is progesterone. So this is the progesterone dominant phase. And this is the phase where you're more likely to store fat with carbs and stress, okay? Progesterone is still really good to have around because it's also anti-stress. It's just not as strong as estrogen, okay? But so in this phase is where, we're going to want to pay more attention to the carbs and the stress during those last 14 days. Now, those are the main 2 phases, okay? But what I like to do is I break it up into a 3rd phase because there's this time at the end of the month where the last few days of a woman's cycle, this is where, you can see that these 2 lines really fall off here. Estrogen and progesterone really fall off, and they start to impact the brain in a particular way as well. So what happens is we are the most sensitive to carbs here because now we don't have estrogen. We're the most sensitive to stress because we don't have estrogen or progesterone, and we are dealing with more cravings in the brain because of the changes in the brain chemistry, okay? And so what I like to do here in this last phase is really tailor the diet and exercise and the cravings in a particular way, okay? So how do we do that? How do we tailor our diet and exercise to these phases to maximize muscle build, fat loss, and minimize any fat storage, okay? Well, so what you want to be thinking about here is day 1 through day 14, since this is our more resilient time, this is going to be the time that we do those longer, harder cardio sessions and also eat more food in general, okay? But particularly more carbohydrate type foods, because those foods will help stimulate the metabolism and also help you build muscle, okay? So for those of you guys that really like to do lots of exercise, this is the time to do that, right? This is the time to do more cardio, more workouts, more activities, and eat more food, okay, without storing as much fat, okay? And you won't be as negatively affected from those longer workouts, and you'll be, like I said, less likely to store fat when you eat these carbs, and you'll also actually be in a better position. Estrogen is a good growth hormone, and so you'll actually be in a better position to actually build muscle. So if your goal is to build muscle, I would definitely focus on eating lots of carbs and lifting some heavy weights during these first 2 weeks, okay? And so the next phase is progesterone dominant phase. So that's phase 2, okay? This again, like I said, you're going to be more sensitive to the carbohydrates and stress in general. So after those first 14 days, this is going to be a time to really, you want to decrease your carbs and start doing less cardio and more HIIT workouts, okay? Things that are strength training based, short burst workouts. So for those of you guys that love to be in the aerobic zone, you're going to get better results with aerobic work in the first 2 weeks, right? And in the second 2 weeks, you're going to want to stick to more like HIIT training, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and not do too much of it. Probably keep it around, 10 minutes or less, and then lots of strength training during these last 2 weeks, okay? And then we have that third phase. So we have to do something about the common cravings that most women get at the very end here, right before the period starts. And one thing that really works well is cocoa powder. So cocoa powder really helps with these cravings, okay? Same with BCAAs, okay? So these two things will have a dramatic impact on your cravings, and it's super helpful that you don't find yourself, going for those high carb, high fat foods such as chocolate, okay? Because again, remember, you're the most sensitive to those types of foods right at this time, and you'll be more negatively impacted you'll be more likely to store fat during this time, okay? So there you have it, guys. So phase 1, eat more, train more carbs, more cardio. Day 15 to 28, that's phase 2. Eat some, train some. We're going to pull down those carbs, and we're going to pull down on the cardio and switch that to HIIT train. And then phase 3, those are just the last few days where, cravings are a bit high. You're more likely to store fat. So we really want to keep our carbs down and really keep our cardio down, keep our stress levels down, and increase and add in some cocoa powder and BCAAs. Again, remember, the name of the game with women is insulin, okay? The older that we get, the more sensitive we get to stress, whether that be emotional stress or physical stress. So, all throughout this time, whether you're in the first week or the second week, you will be in a better fat burning state if you are really good at managing your emotions. So if you are somebody who tends to easily react out of anxiety, overwhelm, frustration, you're easily triggered, then you're going to want to really train your emotions in a particular way so that you embody more of a calm, peaceful, relaxed state instead of always being in this go, go, go mode, always being in a hurry, because when you're in that state, the body is going to, again, act like a traffic jam and really freeze up all the fat stores. So you could be working out all you want, releasing tons of fat, but you won't be burning it if there's a traffic jam that's bound up because you're too stressed out from living a go, go, go lifestyle. So state is incredibly important. Your emotional management is incredibly important. This is why in my FitChic Academy, my one-on-one academy, this is what we spend so much time focused on, because we are living with our emotions 24/7. So, when we're not in the gym, if we're stressed out, we're not burning fat, right? So I mean, like we're only in the gym like an hour a day, but we're with our emotions for 24 hours a day. And so that is something that's directly affecting your fat burning ability. So if you want to be really good at burning fat, I would, number one, like get in control of your emotions, learn how to train those. I can teach you how, and it will set you up for so much more success. You will be able to see your body actually reflect all the hard work that you put into the gym and your diet. So, but there you guys have it, your 3 phases. Just remember that stress is always the number one concern. It's not necessarily food or exercise. It's managing stress in a particular way and knowing when to push hard and when to pull back so that you're not fighting yourself. And if you guys want some help with this, I actually have a female hormone diet online course that actually walks you through these phases step by step. It teaches you how to eat, how to train, and really how to maximize your menstrual cycle and accelerate your fat loss and muscle building goals. Okay, so you can check that out by clicking the link below. If you're looking for one-on-one accountability, I'm always looking for the right people. I don't take on that many people at once, but I do, every once in a while, a spot will open up. So if you'd like to apply for that, just go to www.talk2nat.com, and we can see if you'd be a good fit for that. And that's it. So hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys can start to put this into practice. Again, check out that online course if you want to do it on your own or apply to work with me one-on-one at www.talk2nat.com. All right, guys, much love to you all. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.